We're back. Another episode, Summing Up with the Sumners. Damon. Katoya Sumner here. We're excited to be back, man. This is good. Hope you've been having a good time listening. Today we're going to jump right into it. We're not going to waste any time today.
All right.
We're talking about expectations.
Oh, I should have had a song.
You got a song?
No,
Responsibility. That's not the same.
That
was kind of
bad. That was pretty good.
I'll do what I can.
Okay.
When we get into it today, we're talking about expectations here. We know that in order to have a good relationship, a healthy marriage, you got to talk about expectations, right?
Yeah.
You gotta be able to either. Let's backtrack and say this: when you have undiscussed, untalked about expectations, things can go awry.
Yeah.
Not Ari.
Good job.
We found that out recently.
Good job. I'm so proud of you. My boy said, something's getting Ari. And I was like, what are you saying?
wasn't a highlight of my bachelor's degree life. But expectations.
Yes, things can go awry. It is true. And we're kind of pivoting off of roles from our last episode. But it goes right hand in hand because expectations, what happens is we all have them, no matter what. I have my expectations. People have the expectation of who they gonna be with. Life is full of expectations. My 6-year-old Liv has all the expectations, and I'm certain of it. But we establish them no matter what. It's like a safeguard, right? But what happens when you bring that into your relationship without really discussing those expectations? Is where we're going to really, what happens when you don't discuss them, why it's important to discuss them, and that's kind of what we're going to get into today.
Yeah, I know for us, I want to start with us for a second here.
It's for us in our house.
15 years together, 12 years married. I like saying it.
I know, you say it a lot, and I just hope that if you've been rocking with us all this time, that we could quiz you on that.
We could quiz you. You should know that. I know you've been together for 15 years.
It's a proud thing.
Yes, it is.
Okay.
Yes, it is.
Okay.
But when we first started dating ages ago as babes, we had a lot
Please
of
take it down.
There was a lot of expectations. We went through this little premarital book, and we kind of had to do this little quiz about what do you expect her to do and yourself to do, or neither, or both. And it was kind of eye-opening. I'll speak for myself. It was eye-opening because as you're getting into a relationship with another person, again, I've said it before, different background, different upbringing, the expectations are really kind of these preconceived notions that you maybe really haven't processed through. You really kind of haven't unpacked a little bit. And
why you have them? Where did they come from?
Yeah, and it's like, oh no, that is a thing that I kind of expected for you to do, either because of your gender or your strengths or whatever the case may be.
Sure.
And when you get into a relationship, it's really important, and not just at the beginning, but consistently throughout the relationship that we found.
Right.
You've got to keep talking about
Right. It was something that we did at the very beginning, but it's also something that we realized that we have to reevaluate as seasons change. I mean, here we are, still in a pandemic and all of that good stuff, and it's like, you ever been in a pandemic?
It's different.
Has anybody ever been here? It's new, so you have to adapt as the scenario and the situation or whatever happens. So it's important to kind of take a moment to realize, hey, when's the last time that we had a discussion about it? To literally ask, because what happens is when we have these expectations that are unspoken, that are just for ourselves, then no one reads minds.
Yeah, nobody's reading minds out here.
Yeah, you can't have this like, well, because I thought that and we've been doing that or whatever, then you should know that is what we are doing, or that's my expectation of you, right? And so then it becomes unmet, and then it festers, and it builds, and then now we're going back to conflict, right? Now there's tension, now there's annoyance and all of that. So we're just gonna,
it's those unspoken expectations. I think there's an element of, again, I'm not going to speak for anybody else. I think for myself personally, those expectations, especially coming into relationship, coming into marriage, there was this element of, this is the way that it's going to go, only primarily based off of my own experiences. One. Two, also because when you're talking about communication and you're talking about expectations, there's got to be this element of, and I think one reason we kind of talked about earlier was that habits. And so when we're talking about communicating about expectations, one of the reasons why they can kind of be unspoken is because this is just kind of something my partner, my boo, my babe, my wife, my husband do. And so, and now it's just kind of this expectation because it's what they do. But that's not fully complete in a sense because we haven't really fully talked about if this is something they, maybe the reason why they do it.
Right.
Maybe I do it because you don't do it. And maybe I'm just stepping up because it ain't getting done.
That's
maybe
possible.
I do it because I do enjoy it. Like, there's so many factors that go into it.
Right. Ooh, that's so good because I know friends who, because it's just their natural being, and when someone's more assertive or takes more of his leadership or whatever, or they're the planner, people like to have control in general, right? And it's like, well, I'll just do it. It's taking you too long, so I'm just gonna do it. I can't tell you how many situations I've been in like that, and not even necessarily just from dating, but like just in partnerships with anyone. Because remember, these are things that we're talking about in relationships, but it can go practically in any partnership that you exist in.
Right.
But where just because someone doesn't do it on your time, then you do it, and now the expectation is, oh, I'm always doing this because you ain't never doing it. Well, it was on your time and not my time, and now there's confusion.
Right.
So as always, that's kind of what happens. So what we want to do is bring some validity to this through our own personal lives.
Gotta open up to y'all.
Why are we here if we're not gonna
bring you into the dining room table?
It's true.
Yes.
Yeah, that's where we're at. So this is where conversation gets good. So anyway,
the conversation gets good here because when we bring you to the table here, we're gonna be honest. We're gonna open up to you, and we've had when you look at 15 years, so many expectations have come and gone.
Yeah.
Some conversations have led to expectations being met, right, on a positive, or they're falling by the wayside, or kind of coming to a compromise, right? And there's some expectations that past tense or present tense, are still a work in progress, right?
Sure.
Like there's one, I'll take it back for myself first. When we started dating, right, in college, we would work full time, going to school full time, and one of the things I was RA, I was a resident assistant at the dorm, and she would come over, and I would be like, yo, listen, we got to like 10, 11 o'clock, right? We're going to hang out, got to get home, get whatever. And she would just fall asleep. Listen, I'm going to be honest, I had never seen this in my life. Like, she would fall asleep just the speed. Right, just the speed alone was the thing, and I know there's some men and women who's like, you like, yeah, wherever you are, you're listening.
It's true.
My part. I'm right there with you, brother. I'm right there with you, and it was
still to this day.
And so I kind of had this unspoken. This is fair, but I walk in understanding now. But at that time, I had this unspoken expectation, like, yo, we only got 2-3 hours together, right? But I hadn't communicated that, so now what am I doing? I'm frustrated. I'm upset. So now our night is kind of ruined because I'm upset. I can't keep you up in the sense of like if your body gone, you gone, you sleep.
Yeah, I'm done.
You can't beat the Sandman.
No,
so that was one thing in the past that was really led to a lot of frustration, even into our marriage.
Well, to be fair, I mean, we haven't really discussed love languages yet, but Daniel's love language is quality time. So I feel like a lot of the expectations are around quality time, but that is not my number one. I enjoy hanging out with people, and quality with people is important, but it's just not like top number one. So there's a tension in like just our natural beings of this expectation, right? Because that's what you're going to do. Like, you want to be loved the same way that you give and receive love. So essentially our expectations are practically coming right out of it.
And now, present tense, she falls asleep, I think nothing of it.
That's growth.
We have to go.
That's just growth.
That's growth.
Because you probably still don't technically understand. You just accepting that it's me.
Like I'm not we're not gonna waste the night now because she's sleepy at 9:22. Boo, roll over. Good night, and we out this thing. I'm finna turn this TV up. I'm finna roll up.
Get on that. Cause he act like I'm like a kid who got a nighttime routine. Hey, let's just cuddle, And he just kind of waiting, like patting me.
Good night.
And then he's like ready to get up, go, and watch a whole movie without me. It's almost like, let me just put her on down so I can go do
But
that.
when we had that conversation years ago, and we kind of was just like clear, it just helped me as the one being frustrated. It helped me as the one being frustrated, be like, all right, you know what? And also just being silly about this one, to be honest with you. again, you're sleepy. We work hard. We got kids. There's a commute. So you're tired. You're tired.
It's
right?
true, but again, it's your expectation. Damon doesn't live that life. Damon will burn the candle until it just is popping the fire. You know, you had a candle like that. It was like pop, pop, pop. Now it's at the end. Anyway, but that's like Damon. He's just gonna keep running and keep running. And I'm just like, I just cannot anymore. So I get that, but. And I appreciate you for understanding that way. That is an expectation that you had for me. What's one that I have for you? I guess, I do have this expectation. And it's rude, actually.
Open up.
We're not getting that deep, first of all. So when we keep saying we open it up, it ain't that deep. But, I do have an expectation that, no matter when, where, why, what time, the Damon will get pretty much anything I ask. So I am unfortunately a very forgetful person. I misplace things. The best gift in life is me having this Apple Watch to page my phone. I have children, so I do put them to work, but they're just not really great lookers and they can't go everywhere you need them to go. But if it's midnight and oh my gosh, I really need something out the car, I forgot. Damon most likely will go and serve in that way. Now, does he always want to? Probably not. Is that some way that he's just excited? But it is kind of often an expectation that he will go and just be a loving husband.
Yeah.
And
I feel and this is a generalization, I feel probably for a lot. I feel there's one person who kind of holds that role in the relationship. Whoever you are in the relationship, you're in the bed, right? They're about to get in the bed. They walked through the kitchen, turned off the lights. They're about to get in the bed, and as they're putting one booty cheek down on the bed, hey, real quick, could you go get some water for me?
While you're up, my favorite is. Did you say you was gonna go to the kitchen?
That is a classic running joke for us. Did you say you wanted to get another ice cream cup? No, I didn't say that at all, man. Actually,
I don't know why I thought I heard you say that.
That is an expectation. Another expectation that you have for me. Ooh. I'm gonna speak for you a little bit here. Okay. Another expectation that she has for me is that she likes to play guessing games. We play Mind Taboo probably once a month. At least once a month, and let us know, hit us a DM or something, let us know if you can relate to this here. We'll be working, we'll be chilling, or maybe we're watching a movie, sometimes that happens, TV show, and she's like, ooh, babe, who was that guy in that movie? He had a gun, he had blue eyes. Is that it? Yeah. He had the blue eyes like the sky. He was a white man. He was a white man. Okay, that knocks it down to 200 actors. And I'm just posting now. Can you give me a little props? I'm not gonna prop myself. How on the average, how well do I do?
I think you do pretty well.
Okay,
you do pretty well.
Is this fair? Is this a fair?
I really reach. I told you I'm slightly forgetful, so. Even in my mind, it's dang, it's sitting there. It's I got a taboo card, but somewhere in the back of my mind is the answer, and all I have are those taboo clues.
And when she starts, I have to mention. As soon as I hear, hey babe, real quick. As soon as I hear that, I just have to get into my mode here. I get into my taboo gestures mode. I just go in.
Yeah. And I just think no one really takes out the trash in our house, but I do have an expectation for you to take out the trash.
What do you mean? And you're grown up?
No, in this house. That's not a spoken chore or job.
Yeah.
I was trying to think, And then when it's not, I'm yo, hey, you gonna take that trash out? But that goes for being unmet. It never goes on that long because nobody wants to trash in the house. But I'm just trying to think of some more
No, that is fair. That is
more,
just kind of daily, just kind of. Well, we have a dishwasher now. I didn't grow up with a dishwasher. That I feel
that's a good one.
I feel like an expectation. Well, one, I hate doing the dishes, and we can talk about chores another day. It's just it is my Achilles heel. I'm not a fan. I didn't grow up liking them. I don't like them now. But we do have a dishwasher we use consistently here, and I feel like an expectation that I'll speak for myself, I don't meet consistently, and it's a work in progress. Is I don't know if it's both of loading and unloading. Because the dishes, I don't consistently do the dishes. I'm just gonna go ahead.
There's no expectation. I don't have an expectation.
Oh, you don't?
To wash the dishes.
Okay.
And
I mean, I don't.
That is unspoken.
I don't.
That is just he has expressed,
Uh-huh.
as we said, communication is important.
Yes,
that
it is.
He does not like to, wash dishes. So yeah, I'm like, sure, I'll do it. It's fine.
And over the last little bit, I've done better with the dishes.
It is true.
But it is not a thing that I do. And the dishwasher is specifically loading unloading. I know that you don't like that.
I do not like load. I definitely do not like unloading.
You definitely do not like unloading.
No.
So those are just things though what you gotta continue to communicate on. And when you see it, speak up. Even if you see it's frustrating to somebody else, maybe speak up and be like, yo, like, is this something I can help out with, right? And if it's nothing taxing, step up.
So since we're all in pandemic and whatever, it does change everything. So one for Damon. Usually our schedules are like popping, right? Like I have something in the evening. Damon's doing 3, 4, 5 shows a week, and so evenings are a little tight. And this is all like after 7, right? So kids go down 7:30. We're ready. It's like now you can kind of do most of it. And in the pandemic, we haven't had as much evening activities as you can imagine.
Nothing.
There's not much going on.
I've got nothing. my since 2010, my evenings have been pretty consistent. Do shows, get back home.
It's true.
A decade of that.
It's true. And so we've naturally built in like schedules within that. And so now, because Damon loves quality time, it's like number 3 or 4 to me. It's only like 5 love languages, whatever. So we had to have a conversation. Okay, so every night it kept being like this like unspoken thing that we were about to hang out 7 days a week after 7, after 8 when the kids go down.
Every night, all day.
And I was like, he keep coming to me, kind of being like, what we gonna do? And I was like, I need to discuss this.
We gotta talk about this.
This is an expectation that I'm not willing to meet, because although yes, our loads are lighter and things, it was just I have enjoyed the 2 or 3 days where I know my evening can be for me. Watch a little TV, do my nails, talk to people for hours. It's just like, let me just do what I want to do independently by myself. Mm-hmm. So it was building, right? And I was like, all right, it's all new. We all in pandemic. So I said, okay. I was like, hey, so can we just discuss?
Mm-hmm. She came at me at the right time.
I did.
With the right delivery.
I really did. It was calm. I was just like, can we just discuss like what the expectations for the evening are? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And of course, once I brought it to his attention, he was like, yeah, we ain't gonna do no every night. But I don't think. Yeah, of course not. I mean, what you thinking? It was kind of like duh, but I was like, it ain't feeling like duh. It's feeling like every night you want to hang out with me, which is super sweet, loving, adorable, kind. Somebody's probably begging for that, and I think that's amazing. But for who I am, every night, even if I'm exaggerating, like even 5 times out of 7 is still quite kind of a lot,
Especially for the last decade, that wasn't our habit and routine.
No.
And our schedule and just kind of our lifestyle.
And it's like we've been in the house all day. This is definitely in those earlier days when like just not much was going on. It's just like we've been in the house all day. All 5 of us, 6 of us, it is a total home. And it's like we got to break this up a little bit. I've been fighting for a moment all day, So it's sweet and I understand it, but we had to have a conversation around it because I'm literally like sneaking, like trying to like hang out by myself. And then he's like, I'm just going to come sit with you. I was like,
what you doing?
I'm up front.
I ain't got nothing to do with my life.
Just go to bed. But see, now sports is back. NBA is back. So now Damon's back there trying to have his little moments to watch basketball.
That's a side effect.
I'm happy for it. I'm like, watch your team. It's fine.
Get out of here. Beat it. Watch the double header.
So that's like an example where, we definitely, like, it was building and I was like, ooh, I was trying to, I do know that is important. So I want to cater, but at the same time, he understands that it's not the same intensity. I mean, I love you. It's not you or anyone. It's just that as long as I can get enough of my own personal time, then I'm definitely able to, like, bring more of us back in there.
And that was a pretty simple and smooth expectation here. And that's, one of the big things is like why it's important to have those conversations consistently and often because things are going to change.
Right.
Shoot, you're just going to naturally change over time with age or whatever. Work, his schedule gets different.
Interests, hobbies.
All of
I mean,
that.
because that all switch it up. I mean, from comedy to bike riding to pound, it's just like, woo. Our evenings were getting tight.
Yeah, they were.
We had to fight for it then, and I get why you would want more of it now because you didn't have to fight as much. But 5 to 7 days, it's a little much.
And I'll be honest, if she had not said anything, I probably would have still been up there like, what you up to? What you getting into? Nothing. What you trying to do? Nothing.
And then that could also feel like something else, right? Hey, what you getting into?
What you getting into?
And I'm like, oh.
What you doing?
Okay. So that's what you want,
unspoken. I'm just saying, What's up? What's going on? I like how people try to be real vague.
Hey, you gonna sit in bed with me? Yeah, whatever. Anyway, so.
Communicate is crucial.
It is.
That's what's important.
Yeah. If the Sumners leave you with anything any day, it's just that the value of communication, because that is key. I mean, how else are we gonna know it? I mean, we have discussed it, and there were some moments I hadn't discussed it yet, and I discussed it with other people before I really discussed it with you. So I'm sorry, but it's important to make sure that we have the discussions so that it's not building, and that's the same for you. Make sure you're having the conversations. It might cause the conflict, but just fast forward a little bit. We talked about what we can do in conflict too to kind of handle that in a better way, but it's gonna happen, it's inevitable. You're gonna have conflict, you're gonna have these expectations, things are gonna change. So how are we navigating to that and really saying, are we discussing it?
I think we would want to encourage you on one end to think about the last few weeks, maybe all of the pandemic so far, where you're like, man, what's some things that we've either been going at each other's neck about or having consistent fights about, and really pause and say, have we had conversation and honest dialogue and opened it up and put the cards on the table, and maybe there's some unspoken expectations, right? Like, whether maybe it's something from time together, right? Whether it's either on a lot side or a lack of side, right? Maybe it's something physical about a person's attributes physically. Like, do you have expectations about somebody's hair? Like, oh wait.
What's wrong with your hair?
What's your
body doing? You got quarantine 15, 20, 30?
Somebody went viral the other day and the dude cut his beard. And he hadn't cut his beard. This woman had not seen his chin in over a decade. You understand what I'm saying here? And so it was an unspoken expectation. That I'm married to a beard man. I'm a beard guy.
That's a good one. I remember when you were growing your hair out, I was always scared you were gonna go back to a low fade. I actually had like a dream nightmare that she did go back to a low fade. I was like, I need to clarify this to him. Like, I want him to know what I want him to have. Hey, please don't cut your hair. Cause that was like, damn, cut his hair again, waking up. You good?
Touching my head.
And I was like, okay. Let me be clear. I didn't, just in case you thought that wasn't something, then let's just bring that back around. But that is true.
You gotta have those conversations, and so just think about that. Maybe, maybe it's chores, right? Maybe it's like, when we keep getting into fights about these same three things, well, have we spoke about the expectations that's causing all this, this tension?
And then another one, I guess that's like, even if you have, remember, sometimes you have to go back to the drawing board. Or you have to realize again, like, why is this so hard for you? Well, you don't really like it. Well, I don't really like this. And it is true. People have to do other things they have to do. If you have children, you need to figure out how they can help with some of these things. Especially if they're like responsibilities. Because, I mean, what good is if you're not like helping your child gain some more responsibility in other areas? Another conversation for another day, but I have children so that I can divvy out tasks.
Take that.
Yeah.
Take that, big dog.
I'm like, all right, once they hit like 5 and 6, I'm like, oh yeah, bet. All right, I know what you gonna do.
We got a new sweeper. We got a new sweeper in the house.
All right, let's practice. So you go one hand and, but it is true. Because that is helping them and that's also helping us. So that's less off of my plate, less I need to do. So just strategizing, right? Being a team, being a partnership that strategizes, comes together, figures out the plan, and takes loads off and kind of like is willing to have the conversations to get through the even smaller things to the bigger things.
Yeah, I think that's it. I think it's good. Well done.
Well, that's it.
You summed it up.
Oh, summed it up with the Sumners. Thank y'all so much for listening. Again, I am Katoya.
Damon Sumner.
Damon. Please like, subscribe, and follow us everywhere. Tell your friends, your mom, your uncle, your sister, your cousin, your aunt.
Everybody.
It don't matter.
Everybody.
We all here for that. So
yeah, definitely. Share. Follow us on Instagram. Sumners, Sum It Up, Sumners. I'm gonna get it together in my life.
Sorry, it's all new for us too, y'all. We still
figuring it out.
Yep, Sum It Up, Sumners. And to be fair, previously we did say something else, but we switched it. But now we are Sum It Up, Sumners on Instagram. Yeah.
And if you're listening to this, we also the full episodes are on YouTube. We got a YouTube channel, so please like and subscribe to the YouTube channel here. We're trying to pop that off as well. And yeah, I think that is everything we want to say. Hopefully, more than anything, that again, it just is helpful information for you. You know, to kind of come on inside with us and have some conversations that maybe you're having as well. But the expectations are real.
They are.
They ain't going nowhere either.
No.
They ain't going nowhere.
No. Thank y'all for listening. We'll chat with you next time.
Next time.
Bye.